Welcome back to Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. We're reporting live from TD Ameritrade's LINC conference in Orlando, Florida. Joining me to talk about retail trading trends at TD Ameritrade and 24/5 is JJ Kinahan. He's the chief strategist over at TD Ameritrade. Great catching up with you. Yet another city.
Yeah, another setting for us.
I can't beat Florida compared to New York and Chicago, so
Exactly.
we'll take it where we can get it. But let's talk about the general consensus out of Davos and just in general. It's pretty bullish out there right now. Are you seeing that with retail clients as well?
Yeah, we absolutely are, Jill. Overall, you know, as you and I talk about our IMX every month, and the one thing we saw is that last year, every single month, a little bit higher. Our clients, buyers of 11 up to 12 months. As we started this year, we saw the incredible move to start the year. Now, you know, the last couple of days before today, we see a little bit of a sell-off. But again, when you're at all-time highs, people get a bit more sensitive, want to take some profits. We've talked about this before. And really, we're in an incredibly exciting week because of earnings. Apple, Facebook, some of the true retail favorite names are coming out over the next couple of days. There'll be a lot to talk about there and a lot of expectations, as you said, around them, particularly given the Apple news about sales, et cetera.
Right.
We'll see if the little sell-off they had there, what happens with earnings? Is everything out? Is there more to come? And what are their expectations going forward?
How do you think retail clients are positioned for a pickup in vol? Because they seem to get more sophisticated, and it doesn't seem as scary should we get some movement in the market.
No, you know, our client base is, you know, Tim said on our earnings, well over 40% trading derivatives. They truly understand how the options market can help them. And so I think that people should be, just from a cyclical point of view, be prepared that there may be some more volatility. We're seeing a lot of intraday volatility. The VIX necessarily, you know, the last couple of days, again, it's gone up, but today, as you and I are talking, it's down almost 10%. So with that, we're seeing more intraday volatility, and just from a cyclical point of view, I think you should expect more volatility because remember, historical is just below 20. We've been trading at 9, 10, 11 for a long period of time.
All right, let's talk about 24/5, the announcement that you guys had last week. I find this super exciting. It's available on Thinkorswim and the mobile trader app, but tell us more about it and why a select number of ETFs were chosen to kick this off.
Sure. So first of all, the logic behind the market closing didn't really make sense to us. You can shop for shoes at 2 o'clock in the morning if you want to get them. And one of the things we saw is that more than 70% of our clients do their research when the market is closed. So when you do your research, why not go in and do the trade you would like? We chose 12 very specific ETFs to get started. The reason being, most of them all of them are related to futures that are trading at that time. So what does it mean? It means the markets are going to stay tight because the market makers can see the futures market and this market and the natural arbitration. The natural arbitrage within things will keep the markets tight. We're really excited about the early results and how tight the markets have been, and our clients are slowly but surely starting to uptake it. I think in a few years, Jill, we're going to be like, why was there never trading all night long?
That was my next question. Do you think that's going to be a trend across the board?
Absolutely. Now that we have the technology to do so, I mean, I understand why 10 years ago there was some technological challenges to doing so. The technology is there. And you want food at 2 o'clock in the morning? You order food at 2 o'clock in the morning. Why shouldn't we be able to do the same things? Particularly, I think the one lesson that people may be forgetting in Bitcoin. This is a global market, and Bitcoin is very much driven by the Asian market, even more so than the U.S. I think sometimes we, as people within the United States, are a little U.S.-centric. There's plenty of opportunity around the world, and as we open businesses in Singapore and Hong Kong, why not let those people trade when they're actually awake to do so?
Right. Well, you spoke about the risk before, and there's kind of been the adage out there, pre- and post-market trading, it's a wild, wild west. Retail investors should stay away from it. There are some inherent risks when it comes to after the 9:30 to 4 o'clock New York time trading hours. What are some of those risks, and how can traders, retail traders, mitigate that risk and learn more about that?
And I think you're bringing up a great point, Jill, and that is one of the reasons we started with ETFs that are related to futures, because of keeping those markets tight because of the natural relationships. Now, you may go and people may see some individual equities with wide markets, and they want to go trade them on earnings, et cetera. And many of them, I would say, you know, unless you're a very experienced trader, you might want to stay away from for exactly the reasons you're talking about. But when you're talking about things that are, because of the way they're built and the products they're related to, are staying tight, and there's reasons for them to stay tight the whole time, that absolutely makes sense. To go trade an ETF that's related to crude oil, it
Right.
makes sense because crude oil is going to continue to trade. And so all we're saying is we're not saying futures trading is bad. It's great if people want to trade the future themselves. Not everyone's comfortable doing it, so let's give them an opportunity. We feel that it'll help futures trade grow as well as our 24/5 trade.
I think it'll be really interesting on Thursday because after the belly of Apple, Amazon, Alphabet,
Exactly.
that's going to move the NDX. That's going to move the
QQs, which you can trade through us.
I can't wait to see how that's going to work in after hours because it's a super tight market. It's very liquid.
Yep.
I'd be curious to see how retail traders embrace that. That's going to be a huge day for it.
It's going to be really exciting. And as you said, the Qs and the Spider, those are markets that people understand. They trade so regularly anyways. Why not give them an option to trade it whenever they would like to do so?
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you Monday in New York for the IMX reading. Traders, thanks for spending the day with me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.